Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Gabi, and with me I have the beautiful 2023 Kia Forte EX. This one is shown in Aurora Black, and it's been a while since we had a black Forte here. It's been a while since we had a Forte here in general. We did do a walk around of a 2022 EX. The quality was horrendous, so this is kind of going to be the re-upload because the 2023 doesn't have much change. However, we are going to still show you everything, including the technology, the safety, and everything that this car has to offer. This is definitely the most popular Kia Forte, and for a lot of reasons. First of all, the price point is $22,095 Canadian. The fuel efficiency is fantastic. It's rated at 7.6 combined with 5.9 on the highway, and I believe 7.9 in the city. And you can get those numbers much lower. I drive a Forte personally, and I see amazing fuel readings. And the safety is fantastic. So there's a lot of features. Let's get into it. First, we're going to start off with a full exterior walk around, and then hop inside and I'll explain everything. So first off, with what's under the hood, we have a 2-liter 4-cylinder GDI engine that puts 147 horsepower and 132 pound-foot of torque, tethered to an IVT transmission, so hence the fuel efficiency. The IVT transmission is a very, very efficient way to get your car moving off the ground. So I'll start off with the front grille over here. You can see you have LED daytime running lights for your marker lights, but your main headlight unit is a halogen bulb. One thing I really love about our classic halogens is they do emit heat. So in the winter, you can start your car and it'll actually melt the snow and ice off for you. So although they might not be as bright as an LED, it does still have some benefits, and they are still quite bright. Down here, we have a little bit of styling elements with some straight lines. And then you'll notice as we get up here, we have more serrated, kind of sharky looking grille with your new Kia logo as well too. So this front bumper does have a radar sensor that'll pick up the vehicle ahead of you, and it does have forward collision avoidance. So if the vehicle ahead of you were to slam on the brakes, it can potentially avoid a collision, or at least warn you to react. Now we'll come around to the side. Beautiful 16-inch machine finished alloy wheels. I really like this design. Reminds me almost like a pinwheel. On your mirrors over here, we do have a turn signal repeater. So I know this doesn't really seem like something to point out, but the Elantra, which is the competitor vehicle, the Hyundai equivalent, or sister car if you will, does not have turn signal markers on the windshield. Not on the windshield, oh my gosh, on the side mirrors. Come around to the side, see the beautiful black paint. And then we actually have some of the vehicle's info here. So 7.2 combined, price point, and some of the features. Come around to the side here, fuel door is just on the left. And then back of the vehicle. Now, one thing this car has is a huge trunk. I'm going to open it up for you guys. I know that it may not seem like a big feature or something you'd expect in a sedan, but like I mentioned, I have a Forte, and whenever I have to go somewhere, everything fits in this car. So give me 1 second. Pop it open, and the trunk can also be opened by the key fob. You do have a trunk release there. So because it is kind of dark, you may not be able to see to the very end of the vehicle. I will volunteer myself to take a seat inside and show you what we're looking at. So I can extend my legs all the way to the back of the vehicle and have my feet flat against the seats. I'm probably 5'3" with long legs. And then I will lift the back and show you what we're looking at down here. So there's no spare tire. That's one thing the Elantra has that the Forte doesn't, but you do have a tire mobility kit. One thing I found that's really, really handy with the mobility kit is not only can you patch your tire, get yourself back on the road, you do have an inflated kit on your car at all times. So if you go biking or anything and you need something to pump your tires, or I don't know, inflatables if you're going to the beach, you can use that. You don't have to bring an extra inflator. So just something I thought I'd add. Close this down. See your beautiful Forte logo, Kia logo, and really cool tail design. We'll get a lower shot as well too. It does have two dual faux muffler tips. Of course, the real exhaust port is under the vehicle, but you do have this styling on the side that kind of looks a little bit more sporty. Something I really like about the Forte is that it has more of a classic sporty sedan look as opposed to the Elantra, which looks a little bit more futuristic, if you will. And we have a shark fin antenna on the hood. Not on the hood, on the top of the vehicle. And we'll take a look inside and show you what else we got. All right, so now I'm in the Kia Forte, and I'm super comfy because, like I always mention, I drive a Forte and I love her. I'm going to show you what we got down here. So the Forte does have two little latches, one for your fuel door and then one for your trunk. And like I mentioned earlier, you can also use your key itself to unlatch your trunk, signal your your panic button, your lock and unlock, and you have a real key with this trim level, so switchblade key. And close this up. Now on the left over here, we have our brightness selector. So this is how you can change your dash if you'd like it a little bit more bright, a little bit more dim. You also have blind spot detection. So you've definitely seen that on a lot of cars as you're driving. Basically, it's going to illuminate your mirrors when there's a car in your blind spot, but it doesn't just stop there. So this will actually alert you if you have your signal on and there's a car in there to not change lanes yet. And if you do, it'll revert you back into your lane to avoid a blind spot collision. So very, very handy to have. Over here, we just have our light switch, or light controls. You do have automatic high beams, which is really, really cool. The car will pick up if there's another vehicle oncoming, or if it picks up a lot of city lights. If you're driving in the city, you should have your high beams on, and will automatically switch them on and off for you. So you never have to play with it, fiddle with it. On the steering wheel itself, it is heated. And one thing I really love about Kia and Hyundai is they actually heat the entire wheel, not just certain spots. So however you like to drive, you still have the warmth. And it's really nice with having a touch screen because you don't have to have gloves on in the car. I love that feature so much. Just a little thing, but makes a difference. On the left side here, you have all your Bluetooth and media controls. So your talk button, your media modes, which will cycle between AM radio, FM radio, Bluetooth, your volume, your fast forward or reverse, or to play next song or play the last song, your phone button, that's how you'd answer a call, and then your favorite button. So this is essentially a blank button that you can make whatever you'd like. So if you want it to reject calls, if you want it to go to a certain feature like Bluetooth audio, that is your button. You guys get to decide. Then on the right side, we have our driver assistance button. So this is for your cruise control. To turn it on, this is where you'd set your speed, and then to pause or restart it. On the left over there, we do have our lane follow assist. So this uses a camera that's located just in your windshield there behind our mirror. And that's actually going to monitor the lanes for you and steer for you, not just let you know when you're exiting your lane. It's going to actually correct it for you and almost feel kind of like a self-drive, especially if you have your cruise control on. The car feels like it's taken over. It's not a scary system, I find. I think Kia and Hyundai do it a lot better than some other manufacturers, so I always recommend my customers try it. Now I'll have Mark join us on the other side of the Forte, and we'll take a look at everything else. So come on in, join us, take a seat, make yourself comfy. So I have Mark joining us today. He is filming, and we're just going to do a quick pan over the dash of the vehicle to show you what the styling is like. Got those beautiful circular air vents, a nice 8-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And one thing I absolutely love about the Forte EX, which is a game changer for me, a wireless phone charger. So not only do you have your phone charger wireless, you also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless. So essentially, if you forget a cord, you are fine. Your maps, your music, everything can still be connected, and it'll just cast straight onto your display everything that's on your phone, your maps, GPS. I personally love using Google Maps because if there's any collisions or any slowdowns, it updates instantly, so it's amazing. Your climate control is just right above that here, so you have your temperature, your fan speed, and your fan direction, as well as your rear window defrost as well. That also works for your mirrors as too. Your AC button, your vents, hazards, I always like to point out just because whenever you get a new car, sometimes you have no idea where your hazards are, and that is pretty important. Fan direction control, not fan direction control, fan output control, and then your volume knobs and all your media buttons. So here is a quick way to get to your radio, your media, secret track, your favorite, or setup without digging through your screen. So if I were to go to setup, it would take me right to our setup menu. There you could add new Bluetooth connections, change your sound, climate, Wi-Fi, all of that good stuff. And back to home, this is what your screen would generally look like. And now for driver and passenger and just anybody who's in the car, general convenience, we do have a sunglass holder. Now this may seem like something, why would she even point that out? A lot of our cars don't have that anymore, and people still wear sunglasses. Like CD players, I understand, get rid of them, but this, it's so nice to have a sunglass holder. So just your basic everyday sunglass holder, it operates the same way they always do. You have your light switches here, so we have them on off right now. And then let's take a look down here. We do have a little bit more storage down here. So you have this nice little pocket, and I do like how it's a grippy surface, so you can have a phone there and you don't have to worry about it sliding away too much. You have a center USB there. That's going to be a media USB. So if you want to listen to music from a USB or an iPod or any sort of other device, that's where you'd go to plug it in if you're not doing it through Bluetooth. Then we also have another USB to the right of that. That one's for fast charging, and a 12 volts to the left. Center here, you have your gear select. So it's just a regular IVT transmission that operates in the same way a regular automatic would. You don't have to manually select gears. We have 2 heated seat buttons, so 3 different levels for driver and passenger. Heated steering wheel, and like I mentioned earlier, it heats up your whole wheel. It is amazing. Then we have drive mode select. So the Forte has 3 different drive modes. You have normal, smart, sport. So normal, sport, smart. Should put it in the order that it comes in. Smart basically adapts to whatever you're doing. So if you're just cruising around the city, not really doing too much, it's going to be your most fuel efficient way to drive. But then if you get onto the highway and you really dig into the throttle, it'll automatically switch you into sport to give you your best performance. And then again, once you're up to speed and you're driving regularly, put you back into normal or eco mode. Now we'll take a look down here. So 2 cup holders and your regular gear, not gear shift, oh my gosh, gear brake. And then I'll just lift our center console. So it's a pretty decent sized center console. It's not too deep or too wide, but it gets the job done. We'll close that, and I'll have Mark open up our glove box so you can see what kind of room we're working with there. So those are your manuals. You get French and English, tons of reading to do. Mark has a long arm, and you kind of got an idea of the depth there, I would say. And we'll shut that. And then when it comes to comfort, I'm super comfy in the Kia Forte. I've regularly had 5 passengers in the car and no complaints. Of course, it's not our biggest vehicle, but it is very efficient, and I would say it's quite comfy. Mark, what are your thoughts?
I think it's comfortable.
You think it's comfy?
Definitely comfy.
Definitely comfy, there you go.
For long rides.
For long rides, you got it. So now we'll take a look at the back and see what else we got over there. All right, so now we're in the back of the Kia Forte. One thing I want to point right away, we have rear air vents. So the Elantra does not have that, and I think it's a really nice feature a lot of people look past, but it's really nice if you regularly have rear seat passengers. Down here we also have a USB so they can plug in their phones or small devices and have a charge. And then on the very back of the passenger seat, we do have kind of a mesh pocket, so you can put your books, whatever it may be. On the side of the door, I'll have Mark quickly show you, there's a little bit more storage. So on the door handle itself, or the door soft spot, you do have a little pocket, and then underneath that you have room for maybe a small water bottle or a phone, anything I guess really you may need. The seats themselves, they're still cloth, and they're very comfy, and we do have this straight kind of line design going throughout, which I really do like, that they kind of gave it a little bit of oomph, you know what I mean? Not just a regular basic black cloth. It is it's got design, it's got some spice. There we go. Now I'll have Mark take a seat in here with me so you get a good idea of leg room. You can see me, I'm pretty comfy, I'm always comfy. Now I'm gonna grab the camera and show you what Mark looks like in the Kia Forte. What's your height again, Mark?
6 foot.
He's 6 foot tall, so he fits. He may be more comfy in the passenger seat or driver's seat, but leg room's pretty decent, knee room's decent. Would you say you're overall kind of comfy?
Yeah.
Room for long drives with multiple passengers. It's a comfy car, it's fuel efficient, the price is fantastic, the warranty is fantastic. 5 years, 100,000 kilometers if you didn't know. We are a real dealership, and we do have a Hyundai store, 2 Hyundai stores as well. So Brantford Hyundai and Owen Sound Hyundai. If you would like more info, pricing, questions, whatever it may be, you can leave a comment down below or click the links in our bio that'll direct you with the salesperson for each dealership. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next video.